We are St. Anthony, New Brighton. Small communities built on friendship, respect, and trust. And our schools are the anchor.
One of the first questions they ask me are, how are the schools? Or they already know about the schools, and that's why they are considering St. Anthony.
I feel like my kids are getting a private school education in a public system.
I don't think the community wants to lose that. I think it's part of who the community is.
To me, it's the key to making a community.
Generations have come together in our schools, celebrating lives, honoring achievements, preparing futures. Our teachers are leaders, our students are scholars, our athletes, champions. But in the 50 years since our schools opened, how we teach and how children learn has changed dramatically. But our facilities haven't. Our streets are congested. Our classrooms are outdated. Our children do not receive the hands-on learning opportunities they need with the facilities we have.
When a child is needing individual help, for instance, we find it very difficult to find a space. Most often, I am putting that child out in the hall.
When I think about helping my entire class and helping them with their specific needs, I can't do that right now.
While an outdated building design makes it hard for kids to get to class on time, some barely make it at all.
Accessibility has been a challenge that I have noted in this complex in the 7 years that I have been here.
We don't have an elevator down in the lower to get down to our performance gym.
To get kids down there, you practically have to lift them in their wheelchairs down the steps for that to happen.
We specifically have a lot of issues when we look at the Fayette area and trying to move from the Link area down to the lower levels, because there's no way to get there except to go outside and around.
When students do make it to class, they learn in space designed in the 1950s. From music to gym, computer to science, one look around our schools and it's clear, nearly 50 years of use has taken a toll.
We're trying to provide a 21st century education in a 1960s building, and that's catching up with us.
This building has definitely seen better days. Some parts of the school, you can see the paint peeling and you can see like the orange 70s paint underneath it. It's kind of gross.
People are going to hear a lot about deferred maintenance. That doesn't mean that we don't maintain the building. Basically, we do the best we can with the money we have.
When it rains, there's water that comes in, and so sometimes it smells funny. And the kids they think that this is maybe normal, and it's not. And so that is kind of sad.
As the expectation from the state and from national standards has grown in science, the requirements for science have grown. So they are trying to do science in rooms that were not designed to have science done in them.
We have to do more to make sure we're educating students in how to use technology, how to integrate their skills into lots of different areas.
Health and safety codes have changed immensely since I went to school. And they've got rolling carts in there, in case an acid or something goes onto a child's skin or on their face or on their clothing, where we didn't have those things. So it's very crowded in there and not everything works.
One of our biology rooms doesn't have sinks for labs.
We're using spaces in this building that aren't designed to be used for children that way.
We're in where the volunteer room used to be, so we're really packed. There's barely room.
Going to band is kind of like mayhem. Everybody is crammed into one space trying to get their instruments out and trying to get to their seat on time.
There's this giant pillar, and we have a bass drummer, and he's supposed to just keep the beat, right? But with that pillar there, he can't see the band director.
I just kind of feel squished in.
We should have enough room or we should have enough carts or a storage place where we can put all of these, and then they're safe.
What happens when even as you maintain buildings for all these years, now when they're 40 and 50 years old, every hinge on every door, every faucet, everything, something in every single room is broke. It's just old.
We need more plug-ins.
We had no idea what would be plugged in or what we would be needing when this building was built.
We didn't have a telephone, we didn't have a computer.
We didn't have an interactive board, which we have now. And because of that change, our classrooms need to be modified and need to be updated so that we can accommodate all those things.
I can't think of another public school that 6 through 12 has a single gym.
When my mom comes and watches me perform, she says, "Oh, I remember that from when I graduated." She graduated 30 years ago, and some things are still the same and haven't changed.
I think the girls' locker room is a little dumpy.
For a while, we didn't have doors on the stalls.
The lockers are really beat up. They're really aged.
Things that have been rusted out and kind of rotted.
And the floors and the walls, they don't appeal very well.
I don't think we should make do. I think we owe our kids more than that.
If we're going to continue to be looked at as a good to great district, you have to invest.
It's time in many cases. The need is here.
We're trying to say to our students, if you are a graduate of the St. Anthony New Brighton School District, you will be able to compete with the world's best.
Our community expects that our students will be the leaders out there. They don't expect that they will be the employees, they expect that they will be the employers.
I think Wilshire Park Elementary School is good as most of the private school that I know of.
The reason why I came back here with my family 4 years ago to raise my kids here is because of the schools.
We all know the educational system here is top-notch.
Isn't it great? Be proud of what St. Anthony represents. And I think that's what reinvesting right now means and why it's so important as a community.
It's time to recommit to educational excellence and give our kids the futures they deserve.
I'll probably end up maybe painting or writing.
I'm thinking I'll go into pre-law.
I want to be a hockey player or maybe a movie actor.
Dog veterinarian.
I want to be a teacher. Might be a teacher,
a baseball player,
or maybe in the army.
I either want to be a teacher or like a veterinarian.
I actually don't know at all.
I'm gonna go to college and I'm gonna study nursing.
A veterinarian.
I want to be a doctor eventually, so I'm working towards that.
Maybe a spy.